right, welcome back to another episode of Hippie's Chopper Corner. There's another one for you right there, coming to you from 1980. Who's going to be the first in the comments to tell me the band and the name of the song? Come on now, you guys got to get this, especially you old heads. Anyway, I got a short up. It's me kickstarting this, and I had to kick it about 10 times. And that's with the ignition on. If you're having to kick a bike 10 times with the ignition on, you're doing something wrong, or something is wrong. The thing is, I had just rebuilt the push rod tubes, had to reinstall the push rod, set the valve lash. I put this Super B back on it, and I really didn't know the starting sequence for it. So I tried something new last night, came out, started in like 3 kicks. So, but my clutch is making a lot of noise. So my goal today is to get it up on the lift, and see if I can figure out what's going on with that clutch. But let me try to, let me see now that the damn camera is rolling. If my same technique will work. I'm keeping very little fuel in it because I'm about to have to pull the tank off of it. There's enough in it, should start it though. If I get it started, I'll let y'all hear what that clutch is doing too. All right, the sequence that seemed to work pretty good was enriching her all the way up, no throttle. Three or 4 primer kicks. Turn the key on. Crack the throttle. Ah, you tried. Of course, I got the camera going and start. Woo, that clutch was scary. It's real grabby too. So, I don't know what I got going there. But we're gonna figure that out. And that is a Super B carburetor, no enrichment on it. All of these bikes, all these kickstart motorcycles I got, they all have a certain starting procedure that they like. And when you figure that starting procedure out, you should be able to kickstart one, you know, not including your primer kicks, within 5 kicks. That one, it might have took me 5 that time. And I'll accept that for a Super B carburetor. I've said before, I'm not used to them. Don't know a lot about them. I guess I'm learning. But I'll take that. You know, I got this one set up. It'll fire on 1 kick. That Honda will fire on 1 kick. My panhead effortlessly, flawlessly every time fired on 1 kick. And you can get them set up to do that. And then still sometimes they will leave you just kicking and kicking and kicking. When I was down in Florida back in 2022 at Bike Week, because I took it down there just to put it in chopper shows. Because they have a bunch of chopper shows during Bike Week. And I entered it into a bunch of chopper shows. One of them was at Tropical Willie's, world famous. And my wife and I were there 4 or 5 nights. And we're in recovery. You know, I've mentioned that before. I guess I just broke my wife's anonymity. I'm not supposed to do that. But her and I had been to a meeting, an AA meeting over in, I think it was Port St. Lucie maybe. And we were on our way back down to the Strip because our hotel was a half a mile from Main Street where the main drag is, you know, for bike week, you know. And we're cruising down the Strip, just me and her. She's on the back of the Panhead with me. And we're rolling, and there's a group of FXR, Dyna guys. I don't want to call them Dyna bros. That's kind of derogatory. But, you know, young hipster dudes, you know, and they pull up beside me, man, and they start doing wheelies, man. They're walking their bikes, just, you know, running wheelies for a quarter mile. And I'm like, hell yeah, man, giving them peace sign. It's just bitching, and they're pointing at my bike, shaking their head, you know. And we come up on a red light, and the damn bike just stalled on me, sitting there waiting on the red light to change. It just sputted out. And I told my old lady, I was like, jump off, jump off, jump off. You know, because I'm at a red light. I got to get started again. And these dudes were so cool, man. Two of them pulled right behind me. One got beside me, two got right in front. They kind of just surrounded me, man, to keep traffic off of me. And they was like, you're cool, man. Take your time. We got you, dude. And, man, I kicked and kicked and kicked, and I couldn't get it started. And I was like, dudes, I appreciate it, man. You guys roll on. I'm going to push it over here on the sidewalk, you know, and keep messing with it. And it took me another 10 minutes to get that bike started back up. And then rest of the trip, it fired up there. It never gave me a problem. So you never know when they're going to mess with you. But I'm going to pause the video for now, get the bike on the lift, and see if I can get this clutch figured out. We've got some decent weather this week. Hopefully I can take it out for another ride, because that bike's a lot of fun to ride. But I'll be back with y'all in a little bit. Okay, so I got my pressure plate off. And most of you probably already know this little trick, but yeah, and I've got one odd spring in there. Those are all brand new clutch springs. And when I put that thing back in, oh, there it is. Damn. Well, I got to fix that. I just noticed that when I took it off, I had an odd spring in there. But anyway, I did all this for nothing. Well, I guess I can show you guys. That's your clutch adjuster. That's a 9/16 nut. That's what locks down your clutch adjuster. I make my own. I just make them out of 3/8 fine thread rod. I have a piece over there, and I cut a slit in it. It pushes on your, right there on your push rod right there, your clutch rod. It goes all the way through, works your clutch, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, take you a big washer before you pull your 3 or 5 nuts off, depending on if you've got a 5-finger or a 3-finger clutch. This is an older clutch basket. Your later models were 5 fingers. Harley switched to a 5-finger. Before you take these off, put that washer on there. Pull your clutch adjuster screw all the way out. Put that washer on there. Put that back in there, and then that sucks down on your spring retainer. And holds all your springs in place, so you're not having to fight them, which I'm going to have to do that anyway, because I got to replace that one spring. And in order to do that, I got to redo all this. So, but I like to keep my pressure plate upside down. When you pull your clutches out, always clean them real good, and these don't look too bad. And these particular steel plates I've got, these particular ones, they say out, okay? And if you'll look at them, you never want to put it in backwards. You always want to put it in the way it goes, and you want to stagger them, right? You've got that notch in it and the top of it right there, okay? Or the other notch, you can go off any of them. Or I go off where it says out. I'll stagger it. I'll put one in like that. I'll put the out up like that. I'll put it over like that. And I stagger them as I go back in. But I'm still digging into this clutch to try to figure it out. So you guys just stay with me. We're going to figure it out. All right. Kind of walk y'all through where I'm at. Clutches were pretty dirty. I had to straighten out a couple of these fingers. Like if your clutches don't just slide on like that effortlessly, you see how I'm just doing it with one hand. You can take something with a smooth end on it and like a dead blow and put it on your finger and just, you know, tap it and try to straighten that finger out. Because these sometimes they get out of line. And if they're tight, they won't let your clutches do what they're supposed to do. And I put different friction plates in. Not friction plates, different steel plates in. If you'll notice, I'm putting the same clutch plates back in it. But my OCD got the best of me. And this ain't easy to do with one hand, but if you could slide that on there effortlessly, like that word, effortlessly, you should be in good shape. You start with a friction plate, you end with a friction plate, you should have a full clutch basket. But I took that old spring out and put the other blue one in here. And this is what I'm talking about. This spring retainer, it'll come off. It's dimpled. You know, it sits down in the springs. In the pressure plate, there's a cup that the springs set in. You slide that on. Now, if you'll notice, my fingers aren't sticking out enough to get the nuts on it. So I'm going to have to tighten this nut down a little bit more, and then I can get my my nuts on it. I said get my nuts on it. Slick would do something like that, wouldn't he? Hey, shout out to Ironhead Sally. I missed her the other day when I was doing my call-outs. Her old man just picked up a new Ironhead project, I think it was. I called it Ironhead in a car. They picked the whole bike up in her car, and as they unloaded it, they mocked it up. And looks like that's going to be a pretty fun project for those guys. So shout out to Ironhead Sally too. Hey, and if you guys hadn't been over there and seen Slick's new video over at Shovelhead Custom Cycles, he dropped a bomb video yesterday, and it's getting mad views, man. That video is really killing it. He's got a short of his old lady kickstarting that flathead he's got too. That's a good one to go check out in the shorts. But go over there and check that out, man. The intro is absolutely hilarious, man. He will take a voice recording of me and use it in a way that's just funny as hell. And I thought it was hilarious. But so the reason I was talking about not knowing the starting sequence of this bike, let me talk to y'all for just a second, was it doesn't matter what kind of content you do or how many subscribers you might have, you're going to get trolled. There's going to be trolls in your comments. And I've been pretty good about not responding in the way that I want to. I haven't reacted. I've thought about it, slept on it, and then left a response. But I had a guy, I put a short up. Like, you know, I just put the, rebuilt the pushrod tubes, put the pushrods back in it, adjusted my valve lash, put the Super B back on it, and I was trying to learn how to start this bike. Like I said, it took me about 10 tries. Well, I had a short up. That's because I ran out on the video and I wanted y'all to see the bike running after watching me do the work in 2 videos. I did that for you guys, for my subscribers. And I had a guy comment, not impressed. He says, not impressed. I got a 74. I don't care if it's at 5 years or 5 minutes. It starts within 3 kicks or something like that. And what I wanted to say was, I got a panhead and 2 shovelheads sitting here. When I got them right, they fire on 1 kick. But that wasn't the case. And I was polite about it. And I said, man, that's good. Did your dad teach you that? You know, kind of being a little bit of a smart ass, but not disrespectful. And I think he responded with something to the degree of, yeah, he did. You don't have to be a dick about it. And I'm like, dude, you're the one that jumped into my comments to tell me you're not impressed. You could have just rode on and not said nothing. And Slick's had it too. He's had it happen to him just recently too. And we flatfoot just roasted that guy, man. Like, we got in there and just burned him up. But I'm going to try not to respond to that, man, because the trolls really don't bother me. But that was why I started off the video with saying, hey, Here's a little bit better kickstart episode. Here's why I'm doing it. Here's why I said it. Yada, yada, yada. So there you go. Shout out to Slick. Repo Rod. Large. Panhead Billy. And I forget who that dude was, Slick, from Arizona. But thank that dude, man. That was a cool email. I appreciate what he said about that. Uh-oh. I hear Junior Hippie outside yelling. He must be home from school. What's up, Diesel? Come here. Come here. What are you doing, boy? What are you doing? What are you doing? Huh? The kid runs in here? Get it, boy. What's up, little dude? How was school today? That ain't what you wore to school today, is it? Huh? What? Is that what you wore to school today? Yeah. I thought you were going to wear your khakis and your Christmas sweater.
No, I'm wearing that tomorrow.
Y'all have a sweater contest? Who wears the ugliest sweater?
No, it's just going to be colder tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
It was 68 today.
Oh, 68. We ought to be out riding motorcycles, huh?
Yeah.
What'd you think about seeing old Hippie take off and go down the road the other day on this thing? Huh?
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. March is spinning over. What'd you learn at school today?
That's pretty easy.
Well, take him on outside to play. I don't want that in here. I got man's stuff going on up in her. Bye. Tell that kid I got man stuff going on. I'm gonna have this bike set up so good that kid's gonna start it. Sleep, you'd love that, wouldn't you? So when you're adjusting the foot clutch, it's not going to be like you're adjusting a hand clutch. It's totally different. I had this set up with about 2 threads sticking out. I like to get back and look down at it. See how even I think it is. Those are pretty heavy duty springs. So I don't gotta put a lot of pressure on them. But at the end of the day, I don't want to just go by eyeballing these. I can't do shit with these gloves on. I mostly put these on just to keep the oils out of my skin off of them. It's hard to get in there and measure, ain't it? about the same. You can always readjust it. Then all you got to do is spin this dude right here back out. Take your washer off. Put your clutch adjuster back in it. And readjust your clutch to where you know, your foot clutch to where you want it. As long as you got enough clutch coming out, you're good. Let me get it put back together and we will get back with y'all. I don't even know if y'all could see me on that. All right, I got my main man, River, on the camera for me. Now, I don't know if the same starting procedure will work as the one that I did a minute ago. Maybe it will. Blue primers. Crack the throttle.
He's now coming back.
Yeah, I'd say I got that clutch pretty good. Thank you, main man, cameraman River. We did it, didn't we, buddy?
Yeah.
All right, well, I think I got that clutch figured out. It's kind of a long video. Turned out to be 25 minutes, but she ain't all herky-jerky no more. I'm pretty happy with that. I think I might put some gas in it and take it for a ride. But thank y'all for tuning in to Hippie's Chopper Corner. We keep them sketchy all the time. Hey, how do we keep them?
Sketchy. All the time.
All the time. All right, thanks, guys.